Ms. Gaskins, this is your mom? Is that
Yes,
right?
it is.
You have 2 children?
Yes, I do.
How old are they?
Brittany's 11 and Haley's 9.
How many years did your children live with your mother alone?
None.
Is that right?
No, it's not.
Well, you seem to indicate that your mother took the children at one point. I mean, you say in your petition that you kidnapped your children, which means that for a period of time the children lived with her.
She filed a protection order.
I asked you a very simple question. You say the children never lived with your mother without you being there. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, I did say that.
Did the children ever live with you without your daughter being present?
Yes, they did.
For how long?
Probably for about 5 years of their life.
From when to when?
And that's not true.
I would say Brittany was probably 6 months old till about the age of 5.
Where was your daughter?
She's lived with 4 or 5 different boyfriends on
And
and off
that's not
throughout the
true.
period of time, and left the children there.
Left the children where?
The children stayed at my house.
And I've always lived there. It was my physical residence. I have proof of that.
All right. Your complaint, Ms. Gaskins, against your mother is twofold. First, that she has harassed you, and the nature of her harassment has been that she has called Child Protective Services complaining about your care of the children on I don't know how many occasions.
23 times.
And the second thing is that after you moved out of her house with your children, she refused to let you take property. So let's hear about what you perceive to be your mother's harassment by calling Child Protective Services.
You want to hear about her? You want to see it?
Well, I'll take a look at them first.
Okay. It all started December 7th is when she made the report, is because she wanted to gain custody of my children.
December 7th of what?
2000.
Okay. Let me see that report. That's when it started.
And she also made my children lie and say that I duct taped it.
Who's Lionel?
That's my ex-husband.
Is he the father of these 2 children?
Yes, he is.
Do the children see their father?
Yeah, they do every other weekend.
Does he support them?
He pays $214.30 a month.
Who else supports them?
It's me and my fiance.
Do you work?
Do I work? No.
That's my question.
Yeah, I work.
For whom?
I work for MedPen.
What do you do for them?
I sell diabetic shoes, and I'm also a cosmetologist.
You weren't working at the time of this report, is that correct?
To pursue legal custody of the kid.
Legal custody of the children. Who had the children been living with?
I was living there, and she filled out a protection order. The police came and removed me from the house because she said I duct tape my kids.
Why would she say that?
Because she wants to gain custody of my children, so she can obtain child support.
$216.
It was $450 at the time.
So what you're telling me is you lived with your mom, according to you, and your children continuously until 2000. And in 2000, something happened with your mother so that she wanted to gain custody of the children after all that time to get your child support of $400 a month. So she made up a story about you abusing your kids in order to have the courts give her custody.
Yes.
That's pretty serious.
The girls recanted their story.
What?
The girls recanted their story. It's in that proof that I gave.
I see that the girls recanted their story, but they initially told their story about maltreatment by you. Okay. What was the next report that your mother made? This was 2001, so this was a year later. Now, you were living with your children alone at that time?
No, I wasn't living alone. I lived with my boyfriend.
But you weren't living at your mother's house?
No.
Well, what was the new allegation in this petition?
I'd have to see it.
Here.
Kids complaining they weren't getting enough sleep at night because adults fighting. Cigarette smoke burns the children's eyes and throat. It says adults are drug users and mom is mean to them. Anything she can.
Did you call in this report, by the way?
I don't know if I called that one particular.
Well, I'm talking
but
about only
called,
this one.
I've called twice.
You called in the first one?
I don't know.
The first one had to do with the duct taping of the children?
No.
You did not call that one in.
I have proof right here where she had took a protection order against me and signed it and wrote the allegations out.
That doesn't mean that she called Child Protective Services. Did you or did you not call Child Protective Services about the duct tape incident?
No.
No. Okay. And you say you have proof that you did. Let me see it. Duct taping the children's mouths shut and hitting them. She doesn't say that she called Protective Services.
That's the protection order that she took out against me.
She doesn't say that she called Protective Services. She makes the same allegations, or some of them, that are made in this report, but she specifically says here that she herself did not see this, and nowhere did she say that she called Protective Services rather than a school official or a teacher or someone else the children reported to.
In the CPS report, it says my grandma made me say that, or she will smack me with a wooden spoon.
Listen to me very carefully. The only question that I asked your mother was, did you call in this report? And she says she did not. And you said she's lying. She did, because she took out a protective order that says she called Protective Services.
Well,
it doesn't say that she called Protective Services,
No,
madam.
but it says that I duct tape my kids to a bedpost.
That is correct, but so did your children. And they didn't report it to your mother, they reported it to other people.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It says she duct taped the girls to the bed. They were screaming, so she duct taped their mouths.
You have to demonstrate to me that she placed that call.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Chrissy Gaskin says her mother, Connie Schutz, has harassed her by making over 20 calls to Child Protective Services. Connie claims on one occasion, Chrissy duct taped her children to a bedpost.
All right, you said you called Child Protective Services 2 times.
Right.
In what years did you call Protective Services?
I believe it was 98.
And I live there still.
Good. About what allegations?
Drinking in the house and not going to bed on time and being tired for school.
Well, why would you call Protective Services? You were living in the house with her.
No, that's when she left and she took the kids to live with Jay.
Both times were in 1998?
No, I only called CPS one time, but then I called the Board of Education.
When was that?
I believe the Board of Education was approximately, I think, 2002.
And why did you call the Board of Ed in 2002?
The girls weren't going to school.
How did you know that?
I do daycare, and some of the kids I babysat for were in the girls' class, and I couldn't see the girls because I've only assigned certain days and certain months to see them. So I always say, how's Brittany today, or how's Haley? I ask about them every day, and I said, just make sure you tell them that Grandma loves them, misses them. And they said, well, Connie, Brittany and Haley wasn't at school today. The next day, they weren't at school. And so as I asked the kids I've watched, they said they weren't at school again.
Gotcha. So that's when you called the Board of Ed.
Right.
Other than those times, have you ever called Child Protective Services
No.
about your daughter?
No.
Did you ever call anyone indicating that she was driving around with a suspended driver's license?
Yes.
Okay. Who did you call indicating that she was driving around with a suspended driver's license?
The Vienna Police Department.
When did you call the police department?
It was on 4/18
What year?
of 04.
Ms. Gaskins, were you in fact driving with a suspended license in April of 2004?
I did not know they were suspended.
That's not my question.
Yes, I was. I have a cassette tape of the 911 where she had called in.
She says she called in. Colin.
Yeah, but it's if you just hear her how she refers to me.
Go ahead.
Central Communications.
I'm trying to get hold of the Vienna Police Department. Do you know how I get hold of them?
What do you need?
Well, I have this girl that wants to harass me all the time, and she's driving on second offense suspended license, and she's harassing me all the time. And I know it's a known fact that she has no license, no insurance, and she's up here at the mall. So I needed an officer to talk to me so maybe they can catch her when she pulls out. We'll just see.
Where are you at?
I'm looking at her car at Grand Central Mall right now.
Okay, where are you at on the mall lot? Big lie.
It also states in there that they were suspended since last Friday, and I wasn't living with her for a whole year.
Your driver's license was suspended for not taking care of previous citations.
Yeah, which
what
the
kind
mail
of
came to her house.
What kind of citations?
A speeding ticket,
Well, that's one citation.
okay, and another speeding ticket.
So you had 2 speeding tickets. Your
Yeah.
license was suspended because you didn't pay the tickets or you didn't respond to them.
No, I didn't get the papers because she received the mail and didn't give me those, and then that's when she called the cops.
Did you do that?
No, not at all.
She wasn't speeding for you. She didn't keep
No,
your
she
foot on the
wasn't.
pedal, did she?
No, she wasn't. No,
That was your fault.
that was my fault.
Ms. Gaskins.
I have a ticket here you might want to look at, too.
Sure. You had a DUI.
Yes, I have. I lived with her at the time.
Well, this was in 98. You were living with Jake.
No, I was not. I was living at my mom's house until December 12th, 2000.
She never had her address from her mail changed. Her mail always came to my house no matter where she
And
lived.
why would I want my mail at her house?
And she moved in and out like 10 times.
Okay. So, listen to me very carefully, Ms. Gaskins. I have your mother acknowledging that she called in 1998, Child Protective Services. And this is when, according to your mother, you were living out of the home. I have your mother acknowledging that she called the Board of Education on or about 2002 because she believed that the children weren't going to school
Does she have
regularly.
proof?
And she called the police department 41804 to advise them that you were driving on a suspended license. Do you have any follow-up on the report that she made to the Board of Education in 2002 about your children going to school?
My kids went to school. I have report cards.
No.
I have report. My
Listen
kids.
to me. Listen to me very carefully. Do you have the children's report cards from 2002 that show their attendance?
The only report cards that I brought with me were ones from 04 to 05.
I need 2002. Your mother says the children weren't going to school. It was reported to her.
Does she have proof of that?
Listen to me.
I have all this
Very
proof.
carefully. She doesn't have to prove that it's true, madam. You have to demonstrate to me that she embarked on a course of conduct that was frivolous and harassing.
I haven't.
So far, you haven't shown me one report that she made to Child Protective Services. Not one.
I can show you that.
Show me.
Okay, right here.
Okay, tell me about it, and then you'll show it to me.
I highlighted it here, and it says Chrissy was invited, but threw a fit. It was on Mother's Day is when she wanted to take my kids out to eat. And I said, no, it's Mother's Day. I want to spend time with my children. It's Mother's Day. It says Chrissy was invited but threw a fit. She duct taped the girls by their hands and their feet to the bed. They were screaming, so she duct taped their mouths. And then it also states grandparents broke down the door.
First of all, whether it's true or not, I don't know. You have to demonstrate to me that she placed that call.
Exactly.
Now, you said you had 23 instances where your mother called Child Protective Services, and I only have so much time
No
today.
CPS reports were made when I was living in her house. As soon as I moved out and I gained custody of my children is when all these reports started.
Correct.
Is because she wanted to gain custody. I would never do anything to hurt my kids. The duct taping incident, they recanted their story. Grandparents broke the door down.
We did.
And now she's saying it happened.
Maybe you do.
It did not happen.
Okay.
The girls
Miss Gaskins,
recanted their
listen
story.
to me. I know that the girls recanted their story. I read the report, but the girls initially said it was true. Listen to me very carefully. You have the burden of proof to demonstrate to me that she engaged in a course of conduct over a period of time, over allegations that were not true, that she knew were not true, in order to harm you. And so far, you can't sustain that burden.
She closed out my checking account. I've had 23 mysterious...
Just a second. Did you close out her checking account?
Yes, I did.
When and why?
I don't remember the exact date, but why is because my name, it was on the checks, it says Chrissy Gaskins or Connie Schutz.
Is that correct?
On the account, it said Chrissy or Connie.
Right.
But on my personal checks, I put her name on there just in case the girls needed anything.
Just a second.
She could write a check.
Oh my gosh.
Listen to me very carefully. This was a joint account. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Are you claiming that you took your money out of there?
She took my money out of it.
How much money did she take of yours?
It's $12,378.34.
Where did you get $12,000 from?
My oldest daughter, Brittany, she was identical twin, and I lost one at birth, and I've had a settlement.
Go ahead.
I don't know anything about no $12,000, but she had a bunch of overdrafts kept coming. So I said, that's it, I'm done. I closed the account out.